channel. If you're new here, hey. If not, hey girl, hey, hey boy, hey. Welcome back. Did I say that right? I think I said that right. So, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about dating. My experiences dating in Atlanta, what's going on so far, like what it is. But before we get in that, I am also going to be doing a little bit of makeup because I'm going to go get something to eat. It's not really makeup for real. It's more or less like a summertime glow on the go type vibes, right? So I'm starting off by using this Fenty Skin sunscreen. Ooh, I didn't even know that I could do that for real. Wow. I didn't know you could do that. But anyways, I'm starting using this sunscreen. I love this sunscreen. It's absolutely my favorite sunscreen. So we can get into topics. We can get into talking. So this is pros and cons, okay? So we're gonna start with the pros because who really wants to start off talking about only negative information, okay? So the pros about dating guys in Atlanta, and this is only guys because you know I only go one way. But happy Pride, anybody who you know goes other ways. But so with me, guys in Atlanta, they tend to have, you know, they tend to have money. Okay, it's not like, you know, everybody out here got money, but it's you gonna run into somebody who got money, who's not broke. Okay, so that's a good thing, especially for the girls who's looking for, you know, bills to be paid. That's not me, but more power to you. But looking for bills to be paid, looking for all these things, you know, looking for someone to provide for them. Cool, no problem if you're into that. That's just not for me, because I'm a Sagittarius and I don't like being told what to do. So that's where the conflict of interest kind of happen at. But another pro I could just think of straight off my head, if you're into dating black men, there's a lot of beautiful black men in Atlanta. There's a lot of them. Okay, so that is an option. Okay. Another pro I can probably get off my head because I'm only gonna do a couple because I really want to get into like the story juicy stuff. So another pro I can say in Atlanta is, well, dating in Atlanta, there's something to do. There's always something to do. So there's always somewhere to go, always something to do. You can go to a club, go to strip clubs and all this other type of stuff. So boom. The cons of dating in Atlanta. Oh, y'all, I got this big bag. I want to say little bag. I got this bag of stuff from Ulta that I'm going to be trying today. So let's go ahead and do a little cameo out for that. This is all e.l.f. products. So I got their Flawless Brightening Corrector. I got in 2 colors because I'm not exactly sure what color I am. This is a dupe for the Fenty under eye corrector, and they didn't have my color, so I just went to Ulta and got this. So it's medium 30 warm and medium 32 neutral. And then they had this cute little stick. It's a multi-stick dazzling little stick. It's a little pink one, so you can put it on your eyes, your lips, your cheeks, to blend with a brush or fingertips. And this is the stick thing. So it says shake well, downward tip, click our concealer slowly until you see the formula. I'm wondering if you can use your fingers with this because that's what I kind of like want to do. I want like a makeup look that's not really like kind of effortless. And then I got the clear brow gel. It's like a dual clear brow gel and mascara. So we're going to try to use that. And then we have this e.l.f. brow pencil. I never use e.l.f. brow pencils. I heard really good things about them, so I got it in the natural brown. And then I got some Mega Volume and Length black mascara from them. So yeah, that's a little cameo out mode where we're using this today. I'm gonna go ahead, and this little cameo is also try out these concealer stick, Flawless Brightening Concealer. That's what it's called. I'm just an idiot. You're supposed to, that's a button. It's not a twisty thing. So I end up opening another one, and we're just gonna click until we see something. Like I said, this one, What color is this? This one is the medium 32 neutral. So we're just gonna see what that looks like. That's kind of light. That's real light right there, if we're being honest. But the only one of these that's gonna seem like it's gonna work is this neutral one. So I can kind of like show you a little bit. So that's what we're gonna go with, y'all. But back to regular scheduled programming. We were talking about the pros and cons of dating in Atlanta. So as far as like the cons of dating in Atlanta, I feel like it's all hype out here. It's real live like flex type thing. People, guys in general, are kind of just like they just flex what they don't got, and I don't like that. If you ain't got it, honey, that's okay, because not everybody got it. Not everybody, balling, and I just don't like that. It's very much ghetto to me. It's not really ghetto. It's very much I can't trust you vibes. And then another con is all the guys that I kind of came in contact with are inconsistent, like extremely inconsistent. And consistency is something that's really, really important to me. I don't know about other people, but consistency is important to me. Communication is important to me. I feel like as an adult, because I am the great age of 28 at this point, I feel like that I shouldn't have to be telling you need to be consistent as an adult. So that is very much not something I'm into. So apparently you could just kind of like tap this in with your finger. My fingers are cold, so hopefully it still works. But yeah, so I feel like that they're very inconsistent when it comes to communication. They're very inconsistent when it comes to just in general, And I that's not something that I'm too fond of. Oh, it kind of worked a little bit. It is a little brightening. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. And then they're like, a lot of guys are like really, really like flashy. And that's another con. It's like flashy. I don't care about that. Like, the only thing that really got the people who do, have money that aren't flexing, the only thing they really got is actual like money. Like, there's no substance to it. And it's just like, I don't know. I just don't get it. And then another con is you will run into the guys who want you to take care of them. Like, sir, no. Absolutely not. No, I'm not about to take care of you. Like, where your mama at? Where is your mama at? That actually isn't that bad. That's actually pretty spot on. I'm very proud of this little concealer thingy. So yeah, those are the cons. But I'm gonna dive right into my own personal dating experiences that I've had, and just tell you some of my, my warrior stories, because I feel like that this would be very entertaining for other people, not for me, because I was the one who's going through it. For those who don't know, I think I say this every single time I talk about when I'm in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta I feel like I need a sponge. So I'm back. How to get a sponge. I'm using this e.l.f. camo sponge, if anyone cares. And I'm using it dry, just to kind of like soak up any of that shininess that the product is leaving behind, because I don't want to be like too shiny though. I do want to be covered. But yeah, so I moved to Atlanta. For those who don't know, I think all y'all should know by now, but I moved here in 2020. I moved right in the beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020. So cool. So when I got here, there wasn't really a whole bunch of like dating going on, like, because we are in the midst of a pandemanium. So I stayed in the house. Like, it was, everything was shut down. But I did, however, know a guy who I knew several guys that stay here because also, for those who don't know, I moved here from South Carolina, like Greenville, Spartanburg area, South Carolina, which is only like 2 hours away from here. So some people that I went to college with actually, y'all, why am I struggling so hard today to get these stuff open? But some people that I went to college with actually stayed out here. This guy I dated when I was in college stayed out here. But the guy I'm talking about in particular, I met a guy that, I was talking about how people I went to college with stayed out here. So I knew a guy that stayed out here from college. No, actually, like I said, I know a couple people from college that stay out here. So I was like, cool, whatever. So it's not gonna be that bad. But it actually was. I actually met a guy in Charlotte before I moved. This is the little brow gel thing. So I met a guy in Charlotte before I moved to Atlanta, like way before I moved to Atlanta. I want to say I met this person in maybe September of 2019. We kind of hit it off. We were pretty kicking it, and he told me that he lives in Atlanta. He's from Atlanta, but he's always in like Greenville, Charlotte area. So I was like, cool, I can still, kick it with this person, kind of like, get to know him. So from September until, I'll say off and on between September until like maybe the end of April-ish. Like I was hanging out with this guy. So that's March. Well, that is, September, off and on, hanging out with this guy until I moved out here in March. And then I guess like a little bit after that, maybe April, May, maybe. And I think April is really giving it too much time, honestly. So we were talking and stuff like that, having a great time, getting to know each other. And then he says, oh, well, I'm going to move to LA. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. All right, whatever. So then he one day he gets on this flight to go to LA, and I never hear from him again. Like, I think I FaceTimed him while he was getting on the flight to go to LA, and then I literally never heard from the man again. Like, at all. Like, at all. So then eventually I'm like, dang, like, what's going on? So then I end up like, I don't think I followed him on Instagram at that point. So then, because we follow each other, but then when I get mad at someone who I'm talking to, I'll stop following them because, like, out of sight, out of mind, honey. So unfollowed him at some point because I kind of like, and then I kind of got curious, like, what this man's up to? What's going on? So then I get on Instagram. This man has a girlfriend and has had a girlfriend for a long periodical time. The whole time that we were talking, he was talking to this girl, and the girl stayed in the same area that I used to stay in. So that's why he used to be over here all the time. Yo, when I say I was floored, I was completely floored. And I was just like, ain't no way, bro. And in fact, it is a way. It is a very much a way. And they have very much been together that whole entire time. So I was like, you know what? That's some messed up stuff. Not really messed up for me because, I'm kind of used to taking L's at this point. But messed up for his girlfriend. So, you know what I did? I minded my business and I just unfollowed the man and continued with my life. So then, months later, I'm not really talking to anybody. I'm kind of like really kind of like chilling, right? So that was in the summertime. And then I met this other guy probably like November. It was probably before November. It was before November. It was at least like September or whatever. So I met this guy. He's pretty cool. He's not originally from Atlanta. He's from like Georgia, but he's not from Atlanta. And I'm not just gonna, air this man whole business out. But he's not from Georgia. But he was in Atlanta because of sports and just some other stuff. I guess where he was from, the other part of Georgia he was from, wasn't really a whole bunch going on there. So he decided just to move out here. And I think he said something along the lines that he used to go to school here. I met him in a. Where did I meet this man at? I met him in a club. You know what I mean? And that was my first actual date in Atlanta, because before that I hadn't gone on dates. Like, of course I went places with DJ, but like I don't consider places with DJ like dates because it's DJ. So then I met him, and then we went on a date. The date that we went on was the most interesting experience I think I've up until that point date I've been on. So he hit me up. It was like right after Thanksgiving, because I kind of wasn't really like talking to him for real until like probably around September-ish. So he hit me up and was like, "Oh, hey, not September, November, because I met him in like September." So in November he was like, "Oh, I want to see you. I want to go out and take you on a date." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So then when I was like, okay, cool. So we ended up setting up a date. It was like right after Thanksgiving. I had just got back to Atlanta. This eyebrow is acting retarded. But I just got back to Atlanta from Myrtle Beach, because that's where my like a large chunk of my family stays at. So we went out, and first place we went to was, we were gonna go to this place called Boogaloo. It's kind of like a lounge type thing or whatever, so we can get something to eat and kind of chill. And then that didn't end up working out, because I can't exactly remember why it didn't work out, but it just didn't. And then so we ended up going to the strip club, and that was my very first experience in a strip club. I've never went to a strip club before moving to Atlanta. Well, did I? No. Not like a regular like strip club. Like I've been to like Bourbon Street strip clubs, but like I don't really classify that as like strip clubs for real, because if you from New Orleans or you've been to New Orleans, you know how the strip clubs on Bourbon are. They just a little sketchy. So yeah. So we went to Magic City. I think when we got some hot wings. We went there solely to get some food, and then after that, we ended up going to a club and was chilling and stuff like that. So me and him, we were talking like often, we were talking like this is a consistency issue, because like that's what I'm saying, like guys in Atlanta that I have met are not consistent. So that was an issue for me. So we really didn't really talk that long, because we would hang out and stuff like that, but he would be inconsistent, and I don't like inconsistencies at all. So I kind of didn't really give him any of my time, a whole lot of my time, after realizing the issue with consistency. So yeah. So then we stopped talking, and nothing really like no real like backstory happened on that one. But then I want to say months after that. Yeah, it was a long periodical time after that. I wasn't really talking. I was like, it's not really long periodical. It's not a long time. And I say periodical like that just because it's funny to me. But after that, I met this guy actually through a mutual friend. I was like, oh my God, this is probably around this past February. So I was like, oh my God, this guy's so cool. He's so sweet. Turns out he was not all that. This is the little blush stick thing that I was talking about earlier. So we're gonna use this on my cheeks to see how this looks. But yeah, so I met him through a mutual friend. He literally came to my house. Like, this is not what I was expecting it to be. But he came to my house with my mutual friend, because I had like friends over, and I had my girl Liv. Hey Liv. So I had my girl Liv and her sister over here, because we went to brunch or whatever, and then he had came over here, and I was like, oh, he kind of cute, because if y'all know my type, if you watch any of my Millennial dating series, you all know my type. Like I like tall. Well, I had a type, tall, light skinned guy. So he kind of fit the description. That little tattoo is real cute or whatever, right? So We get to talking. We're talking for a couple of months, but that turns out not to work out. You know, everything's not shiny and whatever in paradise. So we had issues with communication, and then just like, and that just kind of like, y'all see y'all nephew? Hey, move. Anyways, so that was the issue. Communication was the issue. Just consistency for me was the issue. We had our own situations. And I think like on Valentine's Day weekend, like the man blocked me. Well, I don't say blocked me. He just refused to talk to me, and I was just like, that's suspicious. But he's like, he seemed very like kind of like secretive, very kind of like, you know, to himself. And he's like, he's older. I'm gonna say older, but like I'm 28, so he's like over 30. So yeah, so that was a little different. So yeah, and I don't know, the whole situation just kind of like rubbed me not the right way. So that didn't last very long. And I would say it didn't last very long. That actually lasted a good little minute, if I'm being completely and utterly honest with you guys. I think we talked, because there wasn't really dating, because there was no dates involved in this situation. Okay, so I think from February until maybe May sounds right. So yeah, that happened, and then so that came to demise. It was kind of like whatever, because at this point I'm kind of like, you know, I'm tired of dating, and I told myself after this I was not going to date anymore. I'm not going to do it. I don't know why I lied to myself, because then after that I kind of did stop talking to people, and I did meet people, but it just was not working out for me. I went on a few kind of like dates or whatever, but that just did not work for me. Like it just wasn't working. It's just not. I don't think dating is really in my cards. I think dating in general is like, no. And then this past week when I went on a date, I met this guy. I actually met two people. I met this guy. He was like, "Oh, I want to take you out, whatever." So then we end up going to a restaurant. He invited me to go to this restaurant. It's like, "Oh, I'll be there at 5," and then he didn't tell me he was there until after 6. And then when I got there, the man told me he had already ate. I was like, "Sir, excuse the heck out of me? You did what, sir?" And he was like, "Yeah, I already ate." And I was just like, he's like, "Oh, I told you to be here at 5. Sir, you didn't tell me you were here until 6. So I'm not really understanding, why would you tell me to come here after you already ate, after you invited me to come out to eat with you?" And then he got up and said, "Oh, I'm gonna be right back." He gets up, takes his backpack or man purse, wherever the freak it was that he had with him, and leaves. The man leaves. And then so I'm sitting there for 15 minutes. So I thought he was just gonna step outside. So I text him. I was like, "I'm about to go." He's like, "Oh, I just stepped outside to smoke. You tripping, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Sir, you left me here for 15 minutes by myself. What the fuck do you want me to, excuse my language, but what do you want me to do in here? Sitting here? And I'm hungry? No, sir. Absolutely not. That's what we're not gonna do." So I just, no. And then this other person I met, they were like, if anybody knows me, they know I love, and I say love, I love tacos. I love tacos. So he was like, "Oh, I met him." And then a few days later, he was like, "Oh, do you want to go get something to eat?" And I'm like, "All right, cool." He was going to get tacos. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, cool. And he's like, "Oh," he was naming these taco places. Like, "Oh, no, I just want to go to taco places like across the street because it's close and the food is good." And all the other places that he named, I wasn't sure they're tacos. And I mean business when I come to tacos. So he goes, So he's like, okay, well, we can do 7:30. It's like, oh, can we do 8? I got something to do. And then so it's like, okay, cool. So then like at 8 o'clock, or getting close to 8 o'clock, he texts me like, oh, I'll be there around. He's like, oh, I'll be there. Ooh, mascara. He said I'll be there, right for 8 to come pick you up. And I was just like, oh, well, can we just, I got this on my finger. I was like, oh, I'll just meet you there because it's across the street. And if you're out, it only makes sense for me to meet you there. And first, I just met you. So I'm not getting in a car with you. I'm not a crazy person. I just met you. I don't know not a thing about you. I don't know nobody you know. So I'm not getting in a car with you. And then this man's like, okay, well, I don't want to go anymore. Because I offered to drive myself. Granted, in Atlanta, it's really big, like, with, that Southern charm on men is really big down here. But I don't know you, sir. I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm sorry. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all get in the car with people you just met, like as far as going on a date. And I'm talking about, we just met to the point where we didn't even talk on the phone. I'm not even getting to know you. I don't know anything about you. So then, boom. So he gets mad at that. And then, mind you, did I tell you that he stays out here? He stays in my apartment complex. So then the other day, so this part, what I'm telling you right now is like recent. So then the other day, I am driving up my parking garage, and guess who I see? Him with his girlfriend. Sir, get away from me. Like, where's the raid? Y'all nephew in there messing up something. But where's the raid? Because you need to be sprayed, sir. Like, what's up with these men and these girlfriends? Y'all, no, it's not, it doesn't do it for me. And I'm selfish. I don't like dating people who date other people. Like, if me and you meet, right, and we're kicking and we're vibing, you like me or whatever, I want your hoes gone by sundown. And that's on my mama. So I don't know, maybe that's asking a little bit too much from some people, but if you're gonna talk to me, you gonna talk to me. I don't do any of that, like that bunch of female type vibes. Like, I'm not about to be one of many, honey. But y'all, that's a story I really want to kind of get into, but that needs its own separate video. But for now, this is what we're kind of looking like. I kind of like this little summer vibe makeup. No makeup, because it's really not any makeup. It's literally sunscreen and brightener cream and whatever this is. It's a mascara. So I actually do like it. I look kind of cute. I look like I'm just kind of like, just a little refreshed type vibe. So I kind of like it. Kind of cute. So, but yeah, y'all need to, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the like button, because if you do, and I will give you guys a part 2 of the detailed trilogy of my life and my actual, villain backstory. This is part of my villain backstory, but my whole villain backstory. So if you guys want to hear it, make sure you run them likes up. Make sure you leave comments in the comment section. But I will talk to you guys later, and thank you for watching.